The fans loving every minute of ice hockey here. Let's look at the Canadian lineup for this game between Canada and the Soviet Union.
Well, the Canadians come in well represented here with Sean Burke and Grant Fuhr in the goal. They've had some solid defense from Daneyko. David Babich has played well in the defense. They've got some forwards who can put the puck in the net with Steve Yzerman, Gerard Gallant, Brent Ashton. Brian Bellows is enjoying a fine tournament to this point. Andrew McBain has played well, and Ferraro's had the wheels going.
Well, the Soviet Union have quite a lineup too. That ice cream looks good. The Soviets are going to go with Herb in the net. Fedosov, it's good to see him back in the lineup. Possibly one of the oldest players on the team, but one of the best. You can't rule out guys like Kamensky, even though they're often overshadowed by Makarov and Krutov and Larionov. Fedorov, number 29, scores a lot of goals. Mogilny, number 10, is out there too, and he can put the puck in the net. A strong lineup from both sides, and we're going to be back with the action from this game between Canada and the USSR in a moment. Game that we've all been waiting for. Canada against the Soviet Union, and a lot of pressure is going to be on this young man. Archer Herb in the net for the Soviet Union. Canada playing in the dark jerseys from left to right as we start this first period. Going down right away, Howard Chuck, offside the call. And for those of you, again, who are watching maybe for the first time, there are very few rules, but one of them was offside, and the puck must be the first thing to go over the blue line. If a player precedes the puck into the attacking zone, then he's offside. Richard, what a game in store we have here.
Well, these are classic matchups, Canada and Russia, as they've seen each other before. These teams have played against each other in Canada and throughout world competitions, and there's no love lost between them, but it's a great competitive atmosphere.
Well, the Canadians lost the other night to Sweden 6-5, so they'll want to come right back into this tournament, as Krutov couldn't pick up that one. Coming back now over to the far side, trying to work that out front, and that's grabbed by Herb. Kurt Muller getting a piece of that, and Herb making no mistake. An excellent crowd here. The Swedes really have supported these championships. These are the best in the world.
Well, the Russian style was always finesse and pattern play. It still is, but you'll notice the Russian side will hit with the Canadians or anybody. They've obviously developed the hitting style as well.
Anderson taken out of the play. We have Glenn Anderson over here. And it really is good to see him. Mark Messier, oh, a shot. Steered away. Kamensky got a piece of that. Bykov now gets it right in front. Khomatov puts it in the net. Bykov set him right up, number 27. 1:05 gone in the first period. Andrei Khomatov got a piece of that. Bykov did all the work. Watch this again.
Well, as the Canadians are trying to get out of their own zone, Bykov cuts the pass off right at the blue line. And there's Khomatov all by himself. Burke without much of a chance. There's Burke's view of this. He sees number 15 planted in front of him on his own. A quick move, and he puts it behind the skate.
Well, there's the score here in the early stages of this first period. Mogilny couldn't collect that pass, and back come the Canadians. Working to the far side, number 22, Mark Messier. Bellows now. Patrick spun out of the play, and into the corner go Canada and the Soviet Union. Working it right out front, and Yzerman couldn't get a piece of that. That shot from Marwa, right in the glove of Herb. Marwa wearing 44, the big burly French Canadian with that mean look. Loves to clock him from way back at the point, and here's one of them.
As this play moves in and Herb covers the puck, Anderson just having a little quick tap at the glove, but Fedosov said, we won't have any more of that. Just gave him a little shove.
Yzerman in the face-off, gets it back. Marois couldn't get the shot away, and the Soviets dumping it up. Bartolnov working in, and now they around the net. Carlisle taken out of the play, and we're going to have a penalty on the play. It's going against Canada. Delayed whistle. Burke hangs on to that. A bobbling shot. Chernik hooked out of the play, and Ellett is shaking his head. He just can't believe it. He said, I would have got away with that in Canada, but not here in the World Championships.
There you see Ellett again. He gives him a little poke from behind, but he just hooked him up enough to spin Cherniak around. The referee was only about 5 feet away from the play.
2:09 gone here in the first period. This is the contest that so many people have looked forward to for such a long time. Whenever these two teams get together, you see fireworks, you see sparks, and you see great ice hockey. Ellett sitting it out for his 2-minute penalty. And really, a penalty at this stage can be costly. Well, a penalty at any stage against the Soviet Union.
On that particular play, the face-off, if you noticed, is brought all the way back down to the Russian zone. The puck was batted down with a high stick from Fedosov right at the blue line. When you bat a puck down with a stick over your shoulder, the face-off will go back to your zone.
The Canadians shooting it back into the corner. Fedosov. Ashton forechecking as they kill off this penalty. Coming back now, Bartolnov. Siriev working it into the corner. The box being set up by the Canadians. A lot of space out there. Fedosov back at the point, gets it right across the far side. A good save there by Burke. Sticks flying all over the place. It really is getting tight. Chernik again getting involved in the play.
Well, as the puck goes back to Fedosov, he feeds Chernik lovely here. He takes the shot, and if you notice, the stick of Danico comes around and clubs Chernik. Totally accidental, but he felt the blunt of that blow as it hit him right in the side of the face. As you see him skating off, he's got a nice cut over the left eye. Oh, and he's dazed. A tough break for Chernik as he really is playing well.
Danico, who plays for the New Jersey Devils and is the cousin of Mark Messier. Let's look at this again. Well, an accidental thing, the stick going around, it wasn't intentional, but that doesn't help Chernik. He got that right in the face.
I'm sure even with a headache and a cut, you'll see more of him before this game's over.
Golfed out all the way down. Working it in nicely there. Number 22, Messier. Back from the Soviet Union. Makarov. Nemchinov. Getting it back to the point. Nemchinov again. He's got Makarov out there. Krutov perfectly positioned right on the far side where he is and where he's supposed to be most of the game. Deneen brings it back. Deneen getting it over to Messier, back to Deneen. It hits a skate. Messier picks it up. Makarov back checking, and the Soviets come up with the loose puck. Kezetanov. Makarov. So nice the way they pass it around. Kezetanov, still the box being set up. A long shot, steered wide. Marois head manning the puck into the neutral zone. The Canadians looking confident as they kill off this penalty and dump it into the Soviet zone. To the far side of the rink, the Soviets now, as Ellett gets set to come on the ice. Kamensky spins and looks for someone to pass to. Oh, a lovely cheeky little move between the skate. Trying to split the defense, possibly one move too many. To the far side, Kalazov, a shot by Howard Chuck. Kamensky eventually comes to the rescue. Kalazov spins around on the boards and gets it to the far side. Kamensky, who's doing a lot of work out there, gets that one right across into the slot area, but there are too many Canadians. Howard Chuck to Patrick. Patrick having trouble with it. He's shadowed by Khomatov, and they dump it all the way out. Carlisle getting a piece of that. Teams changing on the fly. Khomatov couldn't put a handle on that one. You can see both teams changing, and they press against the boards there, and we'll have another face-off.
Well, there's another look at Cherniak, as he's definitely got a headache. Took a nice shot to the eye, and they're having a good look at him as he's dazed.
He's trying to explain exactly what happened. You can see the movement there of his arm to describe what happened to him. It may make him feel better, but I'm sure he'll be back in this game, won't he, Richard?
Oh, you'll see more of him, as hockey players definitely will play with more than just a headache or a cut over the eye.
Kamensky, number 13, going into the penalty box. Picks up his first penalty of the tournament. Fedosov gets it over. The Canadians now on the attack. Babic, as they wrestle behind the net. And really, that must be a penalty. Messier skates straight to the penalty box. No hesitation there, hooking the call. And if you can lip read, you'll know what he said. Hooking penalty there in plain view of the referee. Let's watch it again.
Well, the Russians came out quickly, and Messier was a step or two behind. And he elected to put the stick in, and he got caught.
Mark Messier flew over to Stockholm just the other day when his team, the Edmonton Oilers, were defeated in the Stanley Cup playoffs by Los Angeles Kings. The Kings, of course, are now taking on Calgary, but it's all over for Messier and co. as they fight it out now with the Canadian side. Bellows working along the boards, coming out right in front. Oh, that was so close. They tried to poke it in. Anderson spun around that net. Bellows was right out front. Let's watch it again.
Good forechecking here as Glenn Anderson keeps the wheels moving, comes around the net and just about stuffs that one in past Herb.
This is such a difficult play for a goaltender. He really has to be quick to get over there, but he's got to get something solid against that post. It's no good just trying to put your stick over. The pad or the skate has got to be there to stop that from being squeezed in between the post and the skate. Kazatanov cruising in front. Yashkin back from the Canadians. Anderson right out front. Marois. Anderson there mixing it up as he's pushed into the woodwork by Konstantinov. Coming back now, Yashkin. Ellett. Yzerman. Gallant. Teams changing on the fly as they dump it around, and it really is still anyone's game. Coming back, the Soviets now circling their own net. Vartalnov getting it up, and you can see they're going 100% for every loose puck out there. Gallant trying to get something organized as he dumps it into the corner. Out front, and that steered right by the net. Babic was on the far post, calling for it. Gallant is in there now, and the pressure from Yzerman back to the point, but there's no one there to pick it up. Kamensky getting set to jump back on the ice, and the Soviets back on the attack. Number 18, Vartalnov, behind the net now, and a shot from Kamensky, who stepped out of the penalty box and right into the action.
Well, good action there as Kamensky took a quick wrist shot there. Both teams looking for a line change.
A look at the goaltender, Sean Burke, who plays during the regular season play for New Jersey Devils. A fine goaltender, has played well throughout the competition. There's the scoreline. The Soviet Union still in the lead here in the first period. Khomatov from Bykov at 1:05 of the first period. So from the face-off now, Krutov waiting for the pass that came or did not come back. Carlisle We haven't seen a lot of Larionov, and I have a feeling that he's going to be possibly sitting bits of this one out. Number 12 dumping it over. Siriev now getting it out front. Coming up, the Canadians working their way back in. Deneen going to take a shot. Oh, and that was just wide of the target. The rebound comes in. Another shot. It's all around the net. Another shot just whistles by, and that's in the net. McBain, number 20. Deneen was in there to help him out, number 11. But the score is level. The Canadians are back in the game. There's the replay. The puck all around the goal. Patrick is involved in there. The shot comes in, a rebound, and eventually it goes in the net. Once again, from a different angle. The goal going in there. Incredible action. Join us in a moment for the remainder of the first period. Welcome back to the first period. 1-1 the score. The Canadians playing from left to right. And what an incredible game we have here. The Soviets now coming back on the attack. Bykov, so stylish as he splits the defense, goes in. Burke gets there first and pushes it away. Howard Chuck steers that one behind the net. Still the Soviets. Kezitanov pushing it into the circle. Kamensky gets it right out front, and Burke came up with a save on a point-blank shot. A great round of applause from the spectators here. Konstantinov, Kezitanov, all the way up, too far from anyone. Daniko tipping it up too far for the man in the neutral zone, and the Soviets come back on the attack. Kamensky again trying to get something going. He really has been aggressive in this first period. Howard Chuck couldn't find a handle of that one. Kezitanov slowing it down, waiting for his teammates to come back up. Kamensky with Fedorov out there. Yzerman forechecking. Fedorov calling for it as he cruises on the blue line. Khomatov in there. Now the Soviets taken out of the play. Yashkin. Canada coming back. 1-1 the score here. Working it over. Three-man coming up, but look at the white shirts that come back. Fedorov pulled out of the play by Ashton. A nice little poke by him from behind. Yzerman going in on the backhand side. He's got players in front. Overskates it, spun around, taken out of it. Mogilny smashes him into the boards, and it's getting rough along there. Still, it's Yzerman. Comes out, he's looking for someone to pass to. He's going to try and do it on his own. And that shot, well, came from Anderson. And we're going to have a face-off. The Canadians really putting on the pressure.
Great work from Steve Yzerman as he controlled that puck for ages around the corner of that net. He's got it, he's holding it, he's still got his legs moving, slides the puck over to Anderson, who's cruising in. The puck just goes off the Soviet defender.
Incredible end-to-end action. Sergei Fedorov picks up his first penalty of the tournament. He'll be in the box for 2 minutes. Holding is the call. So the Canadians with a chance to put on the power play. The Globe Arena here in Stockholm, Sweden, really has come alive.
Well, this game has gone as we thought. Fast skating, end-to-end action.
The puck, it came off Herb and it was eventually batted down by a high stick, so we'll have a face-off again. Let's take a look at this. You can't bat the puck down with your stick over the shoulder, and there it is.
There's an example of how strong Mark Messier is on those face-offs as he moved the puck directly past the Soviet center and went right to the net with that puck. Nearly had a backhand goal. The job, of course, of the centerman is to win the draw and get it back. But if you happen to see your opposition, the opposite number going by it, you really have to take him out.
She knows she's on television.
She should be on television.
Patrick drops it back. Messier getting it up, a lovely pass. They've got players in front. Iserman, Anderson out there, working it around. Patrick calling for it back at the point. Patrick hasn't got time to get the shot away. Messier looking for Patrick, but the Soviets pick it up and come back. Vartalnov out there to kill off this penalty, jumps it back to the defense, and then jumps over a stick. Fedosov, a lazy pass by him, but just good enough to get the puck into the Canadian zone. Patrick squeezed out of the play, some aggressive forechecking there by the Soviet side. Deneen, McBain, they're all out there trying to put on the pressure, trying to get something going, looking for a shot on goal from way back, wide of the target. That was Ellett, number 2. Didn't even come close. Taken out of the play, Ferraro, and number 22 now, Konstantinov, comes up with it. And the Soviets slow it right down. Makarov spinning in front of the net. Babic, Ferraro working their way in nicely. McBain, the team's changing on the fly, and the Soviets with a 2-on-1. Krutov reaches for it with that stick and gets it right out front, and eventually Burke puts it up. The Canadians now running into each other on the blue line. A breakdown in concentration there as Ferraro worked it in. Deneen now behind the net. Back to the point. Shot into the corner. Marois is out there. It's right in front of the net. They couldn't get a handle on it, and back come the Soviet Union. Fedorov now working in nicely. Can he get a shot away? Steered away at the defense. The Canadians coming back hard. Number 3, Kalizov steers it to the far side. Bykov now. Bykov, a long shot, a nice save. Bykov picks it up again, gets it into the corner. Bykov coming in right in front, but too many red shirts there. The puck is still loose, and eventually it comes out, and Canada comes back. 2-on-1. McLean steered out of the play nicely, but the whistle blows for offside.
Well, he paid the price even for getting rid of the puck as Fedosov stepped into him.
Fedosov, so dangerous when you've got your head down.
Oh, Fedosov plays the body very well as he's a big man. Here comes McLean. It's a 2-on-1 with a back checker coming up here, but Fedosov plays him right at the blue line and gets a good piece of him.
Face-off just outside the blue line. There's the score, 1 goal apiece. Patrick scoots it around the boards. Siriev trying to get it out on the backhand shot. Siriev again gets it to Fedosov. Fedosov head manning the puck. Bykov fans on it and then picks it up. Bykov still with the puck as he goes in the corner. Carlisle chases, and the Canadians come up with it. Good hockey here, a lot of good checking, but it's pretty wide open at times. Oh, Howard Chuck spun around and dumped on his backside in the neutral zone. He felt that one. Knocked into the neutral zone. The team's trying to get on their second line as Siriev gets it over, but not far enough. Iserman now down on the left wing. Number 17, Gallant. Iserman and Gallant out there. Both play for the Detroit Red Wings. They've got a man out front, but Herb says, thank you very much, I want this one. The signal from the official.
Well, there's an example of the Russians' new tactics, as in the last few years they've had that the attitude of the North Americans as far as getting near that goaltender. It used to be, we'll pull your stick up or we'll cover you, but now it's we'll knock you out of the way. When things got rough in front of the net and Gallant got his stick up, the referee gave him a high sticking penalty.
Yeah, the signal from the official, high sticking for the Canadian, Gerard Gallant. 2 minutes in the box. And it'll be interesting to see what the Soviets do here. Mogilny out there, Fedorov. And they go with who's ever out there. They don't worry about a power play situation. They've got 4 excellent lines. And if it's the 4th line's turn, they work with them on the power play.
That's right. They can throw any number of combinations out there. And they'll work the puck up as a unit no matter who is out there.
Still in the first period here. The time ticking away on the penalty and on the period. A long pass up on the wing. 2-line pass as the whistle blew. It passed, the pass originated from inside the blue line, was picked up on the far side of the red line, so the whistle blows.
There's another look at Cherniak. He's still not having a good day, as he looks very stunned. That stick really caught him pretty heavily.
He's probably lucky to be aware of where he is right now. I'm sure he's looking forward to a hot shower and a warm bed. Yashkin now working it out on his own, dumping it to the far side. The Canadians scoop it back out with Patrick doing some good defensive work. Konstantinov tries to hold it in. Yashkin goes back for it. Soviets changing on the fly as Kalazov gets it behind the net. Kalazov in there with Kazatanov on the defense, and the Soviets now a long lazy shot into the corner. The rebound coming out. Ellett scoops it but not out. The Canadians having problems, just doesn't want to go over that blue line. Bartolnov mixing it up along the boards. Checking very, very close out there, Richard. It's similar to the game between the Soviet Union and the Czechoslovakian side. Oh, a nice save by Burke on Khimlev's shot.
Well, that's right. It's tight checking, but it's fast action. It's very entertaining to watch as both teams are skating hard and hitting hard.
Number 9, Muller, spins but loses control. Bartolnov without the helmet takes a shot. Burke went down but didn't have to make the save. The Canadians getting back to be at full strength. The puck right in front of the net, but too many red shirts. A good job by Canada of killing off this penalty. Gallant goes back for it. Herb makes a gesture there to push him out of the way, and offside is the call as Ferraro brings it in.
Well, that's very important for the Canadians now, after they've killed that penalty off, to just try and apply some pressure on that Soviet goalie, as it's been a few minutes since he's seen very much action.
1-1 the score. And there's the time. 4 minutes remaining in the first period. Fedosov. Oh, a long pass, a lovely move by him. Bykov, he's got Makarov. Now Krutov takes a shot right in front of the net. And they bang it in. Krutov, number 9, was cruising out there with Bykov and Makarov. And that one really was on the cards. They worked their way nicely into the slot area, and eventually it went in the net.
Well, the Canadians have just come back to full strength. Bykov moves the puck up nicely. Krutov with one chance, and then with a second chance. You see the replay here. Bykov gave him a nice pass. Krutov with a lot of time. He gets the first shot off. Burt comes up with a save there, but he's not able to contain the rebound. The defense is a bit slow getting back. Krutov puts it in.
2-1 the score. The Soviet Union in the lead here in the first period. A nice goal by Krutov. He took advantage of that rebound to put it behind Sean Burke.
Well, it's not hard to tell that we're in Stockholm, as there's another view of a blonde. We've seen 3 or 4 already, and it's only the first period of this game.
It's obvious that the Swedish director is partial to blondes, and why not? The face-off now. We get a look at Viktor Tikhonov. He's not a blonde, but he still plays a major part in this Soviet team. And I wonder if he's partial to blondes. The Soviets head manning the puck as they dump it all the way down. Marwa touches it. Icing is the call.
Well, if Victor Tikhonov was looking in the crowd there, whether it was a blonde or not, I think it was X-ray vision, as he has that very, very cold stare, no matter what he's looking at.
And there's the Canadian coach, Dave King, chewing on the gum, pacing up and down as most coaches do, not saying much until he really needs to. I'm sure he will at the end of this first period. The long pass, Krutov dumping it back in. Deflection, Siriev getting it up to Makarov. Makarov, a nice move by him as he's dumped it. He continues to stick handle with it. A long shot, kicked away. The backhand, Makarov, can he get it away? Going behind the net. Stick handling nicely. You can hear them yelling behind the net, behind the net. And eventually, we have a whistle and a penalty on the play.
Well, Makarov with a lot of time there as he held the puck and held the puck, but he ended up pulling himself towards the back of the net. It worked out all right, because once he got back there, as we see the replay, Makarov had gone by the net. Marawa gives him a nice chop. The referee saw that as a slash, which it very well was.
So the Canadians with a man in the penalty box. Mario Marois for slashing.
Marawa was chopping a little lumber on that play. Tried to cut Makarov's arm off.
Well, again, I'm sure he's thinking, hey, in the NHL, I may have got away with that.
Yeah, usually the first one is complimentary, but that was just one slash, and the referee said, I want to give you another chance to have a second one.
Fedorov loses the draw. The Canadians come up with it, shoot it around the side. Looking to kill off this penalty here. Kamensky waiting for the puck to come out. Anderson's waiting for it too, along with Fedorov. Well, they took the time and they passed it forward with the glove hand, so we'll have another face-off. The officials here are hot on that rule. You cannot pass it forward to a teammate with the glove hand.
No, that's true, and also they wanted the puck to be played. They said, keep moving it, keep moving it. The Canadians were looking for a whistle there.
European officials like to keep the play moving. When you're pressing it up against the woodwork, they say, come on, kick it, kick it. And I agree with that, but that's a time when it starts to get physical in there, and people become frustrated and aggressive when it's along the boards. And possibly a quick whistle would avoid that. Kamensky taken into the boards. Patrick now. Babic doing the damage as Kamensky was flattened.
Well, he sure was. Babic took him into the boards nicely there.
The Soviets, with this power play situation, shooting it around to Khomatov. He can't get it, and the Canadians shoot it all the way down the ice. Herb steers it to Alexei Kazetanov. Still playing without the helmet, Kamensky, and he's going to lose his head if he continues out there at this rate. Fedorov. The box set up. Kazetanov takes a shot, deflected away at the defense. Still, it's the Soviet Union still putting on the pressure. They really do circle around, set it up so nice. They spread it wide. Kazetanov, again a shot. The man right in front of the net, knocking on the door, is 15, Khomatov. He scored that first goal, and he's looking to get number 2 for himself. Kazetanov moving it around nicely back to the far side. The fake shot by Kalazov, and the deflection goes down the ice. Marois, 4 seconds remaining on his penalty. Deneen back checking. Marois is back on the ice, and the Canadians come back on the attack. Patrick cannot do it on his own. Dumped in. Kalazov getting it up on the wing. Coming in on the break. 30 seconds remaining here in the first period. Real end-to-end stuff. Biakin shooting it up. Time ticking away. 10 seconds as they play a bit of cat and mouse out there. I think both teams would like to kill us off and get a well-deserved break. And the Canadians get a shot. Deneen working his way in right in front of the net, but the whistle goes, to end the first period. And there's the score, 2-1 for the Soviet Union as Ferraro picks himself up. We look at this again. It was so close, but the whistle went on the shot. We'll be right back in a moment. Welcome back to the second period here at the Globe Arena. The Soviet Union against Canada. What a game. 2-1 the score. The Soviets in the lead. The Soviets playing from left to right, working their way in here with Kamensky. Canada, 6 seconds, 3 seconds now. Elliott in the penalty box, stepping back on the ice. A shot from a sharp angle, whizzes by the far post. Kusadov, Vyakin now. Khomatov to the far side. And again, as Fedorov was right on the doorstep, they couldn't get that one in the net. The Soviets really looking good in the latter stages of the first period, and here Daniko shooting it down here in the second period. Fedorov head-manning the puck. Ilya Vyakin taken out of the play, but he still got it. Well, he didn't mean to do that. Fedorov wants it out front. Kamensky, who really has played one heck of a game. Khomatov tries to get it out front. Gallant went for it, but just couldn't contain it. Siryev over to the far side. Forechecking is Brent Ashton. Fedosov slows things down as he does. The check missed there by the Canadian, and the Russians still on the attack. All the way around the net and all the way down the ice goes Siryev. Fakes the shot, and he's hammered into the woodwork by Gallant. They really are following through on these plays. Ferraro couldn't hold that one. It doesn't matter if you lose the puck, you're still fair game. Patrick takes out Mogilny, even though he lost the puck. You really have to keep your head up. Ferraro now on the left wing, takes a shot. Well, a lot of people thought that went in. It grazed the mesh outside the net, and play continues.
Oh, Ray Ferraro with a good head of steam there. Got a quick shot off. Might have had the goalie by surprise as well, but it was just off the mark.
Ferraro scooping it up, and it goes all the way back to the Soviet defense. Back on the attack. They really do let the puck do the work. Moving it around nicely, dropping it back. Kazetanov backhanded into the corner. The Canadians now up to the top of the circle. Ferraro here in the second period. 9:03 gone. Carlisle, Muller dumping it in. And we have a whistle for offside, and we'll have a face-off.
Well, both teams have come out skating hard in this second period.
They really have, you know, they're giving 100%. Of course, you would expect that, but all the way through, there are no slow bits in the game so far.
No, it's a very clean game with good checking, but great end-to-end action as both teams are putting passes together nicer as this game continues.
We could be looking at the eventual winners when we look at this game. Could it be Canada? Could it be the Soviet Union? It's personal pride, but even more than that, it's national pride. The Canadians, Elliott getting it over, working their way in is Marois. McLean shoots it all the way around. Howardchuk puts it back in. They're looking to set something up, but there's no one in front of the net. Now Muller is there to help out. Howardchuk couldn't keep that one in, bobbled out over, and Marois dumps it back into the neutral zone. McLean now. McLean trying to do it all on his own, ran into problems. Vartalnov continues. Vartalnov takes a shot. It was high and wide of the target, but he really was close. Nobody wanted to go and get him. Shot back in. Marois scoops that one to no one at all. The Canadians looking to change their lines as Elliott pushes that one forward, and again Marois dumps it to the far side. A lazy shot on Herb. He has no problem with that one. Biakin gets it up right to the goaltender, and he fires that back to Biakin. Fedorov. Well, they're not, the Soviets are not breaking as a team as they were a few moments ago. They're doing it one at a time. That was Makarov trying his luck, and that's not usually the way they play hockey. Bellows with that boomer of a shot, getting it up on the wing, but too many white shirts there. Close checking second period. The team's having difficulty spreading it out as Biakin goes over with Krutov. Oh, that one could have been dangerous. Fedorov now picks it up. Can he get the shot away? Whistles by the far post. Babic into the corner. Messier calling for it on the far side, but it comes out to this wing. And number 23, Bellows, is stopped in his tracks. Makarov dropping it back. A backhand shot wide of the target. Makarov scoops it back in. Burke now way out in no man's land. And how many times in competition and in the B pool have we seen guys get caught out there? Bellows trying to do something, and it ends up behind the net. Messier misses his man, and the Soviet Union lay a lovely pass onto Fedorov, and he just could not contain it. Makarov. Kamensky trying to do it on a one-on-one situation, and he's pressed out of the play. Babic takes Makarov out, and the Canadians back on the attack. Yzerman, number 19, Yzerman is going to do it on his own as he skates behind Herb. It really is all happening out there, but no real good shots on the goal.
No, both teams are sticking right to each other here as there's good defense by both sides.
Back to number 12, looking for someone to pass to. That's Nemchinov. Siriev eventually comes up with the loose puck. Kamensky's calling for it. Danico, too far for anyone. Right on the money there. Kazatanov head-manning the puck, and the Soviets now dropping it back. Bikov goes in from close in and takes that shot. And how did Burke get his glove hand on that? Bikov from about 10 feet out let that one fire. What a shot.
Good play by Komatov here as he drops the puck back. Bikov tees it up. Burke with great reflexes there as he gloves that one. And he gives himself a shower to cool himself down after that. Puts the water bottle back on the top of the net. Let's look at this again as we see the action behind, off the play, a little pushing and shoving, and there's a punch from Messier right in the face that went unnoticed. A lot of things happen off the play, and sometimes spectators wonder why people get penalties, because they don't see the puck carrier getting hit. But really, it's what happens off the play, as I said, causes a lot of penalties out there. The Soviets working their way in. Yashkin backhanding that right in front, batted down, and the Canadians now come up with it. A fast break, 3-on-2, and Bikov getting back nicely to clear that away. End-to-end stuff, a drop pass there, but Patrick came to the rescue. Ellett positions himself out front. Patrick, not a good pass from him, but they got away with it. The Canadians now, Ferraro taken out by Bikov, and he's all over the ice. Now he wants the puck. He's back on the attack. 1 minute he's back checking. Oh, a lovely move, but just couldn't get the shot away. Brilliant stuff by both teams, giving everything, putting on a fantastic performance. Bikov again takes the shot and hits a body out there. Bikov stops, turns, and dumped to the ice. Babic now, 2-on-2 break. The Canadians, Ferraro working his way in front of the net. They bring more red shirts up, but Herb gets hold of that one. Good stuff end to end here, as that was a collision of two Canadian players. And I don't know what's caused this little confrontation after. but the two Canadian players collided with each other in front of the goal.
The official not too impressed with what is happening in front of that net. Kalazov, number 3, skates towards the penalty box. Let's look at this again.
There's the play as the Canadians come down the ice. Ferrero bangs together quite hard on that play with Andrew McBain. The penalty occurred shortly after that as the players got up. There was a little confrontation.
Kalazov in there for 2 minutes for roughing. Well, it's difficult to see on that slow motion replay where the roughing actually occurred, but the official was sure that it was a penalty, and the Soviets are now a man short. The Canadians working their way in. You can see the box being set up behind the net. The Canadians now back to the point. Marois has Elliott. Elliott takes a shot, deflected away, but it's still not out. The Canadians, Yzerman on the far post, couldn't get a handle on that one.
Oh, that was good action as the puck just managed to elude Yzerman's stick in front of that net. There's Elliott getting the shot off. It hits a stick. Play still kept going, but the Soviet defenseman deflected the puck out of the play.
Artur Erb, the Soviet goalie. There's the scoreline, still 2-1. Lots of action remaining in this game. Back to the point, the Canadians keep it in. The Soviets now with Fedosov turning nicely. Just incredible stuff from him. He really did want to go and play in the National Hockey League with the New Jersey Devils, but it just wasn't to be. Perhaps, maybe next year. Marois coming back on the attack. The Canadians trying to size something up, a shot, and that's in the net. McLean right through the pads, a devastating slap shot, but I'm sure the goalie should have had that one.
Oh, that was such an all-important power play as the Canadians draw level here. McLean's quite happy with that. As this play develops, they keep the puck in the Russian zone. McLean's got the puck. He just moves in. He's at a bit of a sharp angle and blasts the puck through the pads. The goalie could have done better on that one.
Well, excellent stuff from Canada. I'm sure we're going to be seeing a lot more in a moment. Back to the second period. The score is all level. The Soviet Union playing from left to right as they work it down the ice. Offside, the call. Bodies flying all over that blue line, preceding the puck. And what a game in progress.
Well, both teams are playing the man right at the blue line, and this game is turning into everything that we've expected it to.
It's close checking, at times hard hitting, and we're seeing some lovely goals from both sides. 2-2 the score, and the fans here in the Globe Arena loving every minute of this. A lot of Swedish supporters here, but they just love to see good ice hockey, no matter who's out on the ice.
The Swedish supporters realize that their team is still well into this, but they also realize they might be watching a potential champion out of one of the two of these teams right here tonight.
They will, of course, be hoping that the Swedes repeat their 1987 victory when they picked up the gold medal at the World Championships. Last year, the Olympics were held, and the Swedes came third. The Soviets picked up the gold medal. The Finns, who are really out of it now, picked up the silver, but they didn't do too much in the tournament so far. Marois losing out. Marois running into Messier. Coming back now, the long shot by Babic, number 24. Anderson, who plays for the Oilers. Oh, Makarov Makarov, oh, so easy. He puts that upstairs and lights the lamp. 3-2 the score. And that is typically Sergei Makarov.
Well, we've been talking about fast end-to-end action, and we just saw it there as the Canadians came down the ice quickly, but as it broke down in front of the Russian net, the pass was given to Makarov, and he was on his own. Here you see him, he's got a breakaway from center ice in, as there's no way that Carlisle's going to catch him. Here comes Makarov. Burke has to make a move, and Makarov puts it over him.
3-2 the score. Fedosov got the assist on that play by Makarov. A brilliant pass by the veteran defenseman, number 2. So instrumental in so many things out there. Kezitanov took Gallant out of the play, and back come the Soviets again. Bykov right in front of the net, and they just couldn't put it together. Gallant coming back. Ashton, Bykov again. He's so fast. 1 minute he's trying to put the puck in the net. Next minute he's back in front of his own net, and he's stealing it. Oh, a great save by Burke. The shot there, Kamensky, but a glove hand came up out of nowhere.
There's that wrist shot by Kamensky, and Burke throws the glove out there. If you're just watching hockey for the first time, you might think that's a wicker basket or something he's wearing, but it's not. It's just a glove fitting over his hand to catch that puck, and he does a great job catching that one.
Well, this is how the table looks. The Soviet Union are in first place with 10 points, and they aim to stay there. It's between the Soviets, the Czechs, the Swedes, and the Canadians. They'll be going for the medals. Every game from now on is important. Biakin getting it up. The Soviets looking the more aggressive side here in this period as they throw it about and really do move it up on the wing nicely. Muller's out there with Howardchuk and Deneen. Muller loses out to Fedorov. Fedorov now is going to try to split the defense. Marois got a piece of him, and Fedorov hammers the French-Canadian into the boards. Some good stuff. Some people think that right out front, Burke comes up with it, and that was nice. I was about to say that some people think that the Soviet Unions are a soft touch out there when they're playing the Canadians, but believe me, they do not back off. Howardchuk now, a 2-on-1 break. Bellows is cruising in front of the net. The shot goes off the stick, and look at all those white shirts that get back there.
Great back checking by the Russians. Here they come down the ice with their own 2-on-1, but good work by Deneen to get back and cover up.
So the Soviets can be as tough as anyone. They've played the Canadians for years now. Danico. The whistle blows for the two-line pass. Under a minute remaining in the second period. There's the score, the Soviet Union 3, Canada 2. Seesaw battle, still far from over.
Well, as we were talking about that third goal that the Soviets scored, end-to-end action, we just saw it again as the Canadians came down with Howardchuk with great stuff, and the Russians came right back with a 2-on-1 of their own. Good end-to-end action, fast skating.
Sergeyev getting it over to the far wing. Headmanning it nicely, and some good forechecking there by Bellows. He really did get involved. Messier now. Messier over his jet lag, gets it over to Carlisle. Carlisle backhands it. Sergeyev comes up with it. It's getting sloppy a bit. 30 seconds remaining here in the period. Some stick handling by the Soviets as they kill off the final 30 seconds. 15 seconds now, back to the point, picked up by the Soviets. Patrick gets there. 10 seconds remaining in the period. The Canadians, chance for one more shot. 5 seconds now. Messier forechecking, but he's not going to get it. There goes the whistle to end the second period. We'll be right back in a moment. to Stockholm. The score 3-2 here in the third period. The Canadians playing from left to right. An incredible all-action first two periods. Both teams, as I said before, giving well over 100% if you can do that. They've played well, they forecheck, back check. And now the Soviets trying to get out of their own zone. Number 12, Nemchinov leaves it for Makarov. Makarov gets it by Ashton. Play here in the neutral zone as they start this third period. Richard, what do the Canadians have to do to get back into this game?
Well, they're certainly in this game. It's a 3-2 scoreline right now, and it's that final 20 minutes. They've just got to go out hard and keep the pressure on the Soviets.
Well, let's see what they can do. The Soviets and the Canadians, possibly the two most experienced sides in the world. They know all about international ice hockey. Patrick touches it. Icing is the call.
Well, one word that Dave King may have had with his team between the periods is to shoot the puck a little bit more. The Canadians have tended to move it in, move it around a lot, and wait for the perfect shot.
Well, another pretty girl, and we've come to expect that here in Sweden. Terrific hosts for this Group A championships. They really have done it in style, as Norway did in the Group B competition. Getting set for this face-off, taking a bit of time to get their act together out there. Now the puck is dropped. It comes right out front. The shot kicked away. Bellows was in there. Number 23 eventually dumps it back. The Canadians now playing a bit more aggressive as they try to get something going. Kamensky, back to Kamensky. Kamensky, stick handling, runs into a red shirt. Messier right out front to Bellows. The poke check him out and steered it away from him. And the Soviet Union back on the attack. Kamensky, who really does put his head down and go out there, was steered into the corner. The call there, you saw the crossed arms for interference. Anderson, the guilty party. Let's see this again.
As this play comes out of the Soviet zone, Anderson is just back checking and he hooks his man up away from the play, so that's a 2-minute interference penalty, as they were nowhere near the actual play.
Impeding the progress of someone without the puck, that's interference, and that's exactly what he did there. Anderson bows his head. The Canadians taking a lot of time to get set for this face-off circle. Changing up of the stick for Burke. With 1:47 gone in the third period. He probably actually got the same stick he took over there, but that's an old trick to give the players a bit of a break. Fanning on the shot was Danico. And now the Canadians dump it down the ice.
Well, they've got to kill this one off.
They really do. So important that the Soviets don't jump another goal into the lead. Dropping it back to the defense. You can see them turning, setting something up. Kamensky, so fluent, works it back and then works himself in front of the net. Beekoff, who's played a part in just about everything out there. A lot of slashing, that's in the net. Kamensky, number 13, got the final touch. A power play goal makes it 4-2. They were buzzing all around the Canadian goal. Let's look at this again.
There you see Beekoff throwing the puck behind the net. Kamensky's positioned himself in front and he's right there. It's a one-timer. That's a nice pass. Khomatov working the puck out in front. There it is. Kamensky's wide open.
Carlisle went after the man behind the net, and that's when it broke down. Kamensky left alone as Fedosov goes back for it. 4-2 the score. Power play goal. And the Canadians now trailing by 2.
Well, that line has played well all night.
The Soviets, another arm in the air, signaling a penalty. This time, the Soviets touched it. Shiryaev going in the box, no hesitation there. That's his fourth penalty. He gets 2 minutes for it. You can see the total on the right-hand side. That's 8. So he's had 4 minor penalties, and he'll be in the box for 2 minutes. Tripping the call. And the Canadians now with an opportunity to put on the extra attacker and go for goal.
Well, Shiryaev was in a position there where he'd overcommitted himself, and Dineen had put a nice little move on him, and he just sort of pulled him down out of desperation as Dineen was heading for the net.
Nemchinov skates off the ice, and the Canadians get set for this power play. Marois back on the far point. Anderson cruising right in the slot, gets a stick across the back of the head from number 22, Konstantinov. It is so rough when you're trying to stand in front of that net.
Well, you can see they're trying to feed him in front, as twice the puck has been directed to him, but there's somebody right on him. They're going to have to try something different.
Marois getting it up. Anderson, Yzerman getting it right across, and Messier couldn't get a stick on it. Comes right in front now. The shot wide of the target. Well, Anderson is out there, Messier's out there, and they're trying. They're getting physical. They're trying everything to put the puck in the net. The Soviet side putting that box up. You've heard us say that before, and that's what you got to do when you've got a penalty against you. You set up a box and you hope it doesn't break down. Well, not a good clearance here by Kazatanov. Back come the Canadians, break it in on goal. Herb goes down, the rebound, and eventually the save is made. Totally lost it there, but Herb did the butterfly and eventually came up with that puck. Messier trying hard.
Well, there's Yzerman feeding Messier. He's around the outside with all that strength. Yzerman was right there on that rebound, but couldn't put it in. There you see Messier. Look at him lean on that defenseman. So strong. The puck is there. Yzerman can't put it behind him. They're certainly not short of firepower with 3 of the top NHL scorers out there on this power play.
Not bad for a youngster. Herb, only 22 years old, and he's facing firepower like this. 4-2 the score here in the third period. The Canadians still putting on the pressure. Now Patrick moving into the top of the circle, right in front of the net, bobbling all over Gallant. Tried to take a swing at that as it went by him. Babic got it over to the far side. The Canadians, Howardchuk. Patrick moves in front of the net. Babic takes a shot. The puck was loose, but the Soviets come up with it. Khomatov fires it down, and Fedorov chases. Marois, Patrick. Patrick getting it up on the wing just a bit too far, and that's going to go all the way down, and that's an icing call.
Well, that wasn't the play they were looking for there, as they tried to make the long pass, and it eluded the forward for an icing call.
The action coming at both ends over the 3 periods in this hockey game. No let up in the pressure from both teams. Both teams want this one bad, don't they, Richard?
Well, they certainly do. As Kalazov, you saw putting his helmet back on, all he did was go back to touch that puck for an icing call, and he still paid a heavy price.
Shiryaev getting ready to come back into the play, and the Canadians unable to make any impact on that penalty situation. Shiryaev now taken out by Babic. Bellows coming up. Bellows fakes the shot, stopped right at the blue line. The Soviets. Yashkin taken out, still in control. Well, I thought he lost it in the corner. This time he's taken out and loses it. The Canadians now, Makarov forechecking. Howardchuk gets it up. Too far for anyone. All the way back forward is Fedosov, and that'll be icing once again. Icing, of course, is called when you shoot the puck all the way down from your side of the red line to the far side of the goal line. The rule, of course, to prevent delaying the game just by shooting it down the ice. You can shoot the puck down the ice when you have a man short through penalty.
Well, you can see what the Canadians are trying to do here as they trail by 2 goals. They're throwing the long passes out, hoping either for a breakaway or as a means of trying to get the Soviet defenseman to pull back off that blue line.
Fedosov turns nicely. Ashton tries to squeeze him out of the play, but doesn't succeed. Muller shooting it back in. The backhand shot goes off a leg. And now the Soviets. Fedosov looking for someone to pass to. Number 12 works his way in. Nemchinov, but even he's taken out of the play. Too many red shirts around. Both teams, Richard, looking for this quick break, aren't they? They're looking for that pass right up the center. As bodies fly, and we're going to have another penalty on the play. Well, if you heard that, there's no need to say anymore. Tripping is the call. Patrick skating over to the box. Let's look at this again.
I'm not so sure about that call.
Well, we'll be back with more action in a moment. Ice hockey on Eurosport as we look at James Patrick in the penalty box. The official, well, one of his tasks is to keep the ice clean, and that's what he's doing right now, picking up something that has been thrown onto the ice. And of course, they get involved in breaking up fights. You can see, well, it wasn't something that was thrown on the ice. It was pieces of splinter from the stick that actually shattered on that last play. 4-2 the score. And there is from time to time, Richard, things that are thrown on the ice, and of course that is very dangerous.
Oh, it most certainly is. Makes it quite dangerous for the players out there as it could create a serious injury.
Bellows putting himself offside. And over the years in the National Hockey League, we've seen the strangest things thrown onto the ice. I remember once, as we look at this offside, when someone threw a squid on the ice, a bunny rabbit, and a couple of mice, and they had to chase them all over the ice, and it really did cause chaos.
Speaking of the mice, the home team usually wears white, and I was at a game one time when a team in white scored the first goal, and about 50 live white mice were launched on the ice. The referee was subsequently bit by one of the little varmints that was on the ice, and he had to have medical attention before the game could continue as it drew blood.
Well, it's not something you should laugh at it, but it's a good story. Beekoff now. Who wants to be an official? You got to clean the ice, break up fights, and fight off the mice when they appear. Well, no mice so far out there, but a lot of bodies being thrown about. Marois took his man out. Mixing it up is Beekoff as he gets a punch from the Canadian. Back to Kazatanov. To the far side, again to Kazatanov. Into the corner, the Canadians trying to kill off this penalty. Right across the goal there to the far side. Number 22 is calling for it. Konstantinov, as he parks himself right in front. Kazatanov takes the shot, and the deflection bobbles out into the neutral zone. Kamensky comes up with the puck as he's shadowed by the Canadian. 37 seconds remaining on the penalty. The whistle blows, and they have words with each other right on the goalpost there. The Soviets happy with their lot so far. Tikhonov explaining to the player, Fedorov, what he should do and shouldn't do. And he really does have a magnificent success record. He's been around for well over 10 years, coaching the national side. And of course, he is the coach for CSKA Moscow, one of the best club sides in the world.
Well, the Canadians are doing an excellent job killing this penalty off, as their box is definitely containing the Soviet attack.
Ashton picks that one up. Thank you very much, as he kills off this penalty. Nemchinov skates forward, but it goes to the far wing. A long shot, eventually kicked away. That was Kimlev. Back to the point. A deflection steers that one wide. Kalazov got a piece of that. Behind the net now. The Canadians still with problems as that shot goes way wide. Patrick back on the ice. Yzerman shadows but can't get a piece of it. The Soviets making full use of this large ice surface here in Sweden. Bellows wants it, couldn't put a handle on it. The Soviets, as I was saying, really do pass it around from side to side and up and down the ice. They're really not afraid to use the full ice surface. Making the Canadians work. Herb picked that one up. Fedosov has it now. Fedosov moving smoothly in the corner. Backhanding into the neutral zone. Fedorov, drop it back. A shot, an easy one, wide of Burke, and the Canadians come up with it. Well, a sloppy pass right in front, but eventually the Canadians steer it away, coming back nicely. Yzerman getting it right in front. Oh, and that's in the net. Anderson. Yzerman was involved. Anderson made no mistake. 4-3 the score, and the Canadians are coming back.
Another example of how fast this game is going up and down the ice, as Anderson is the one that made the sloppy pass in his own zone. The play broke down and Yzerman came down the ice, and who's breaking but Glenn Anderson? He's behind the Soviet defense, lets the goalie go down and lifts it over him. Here you see Anderson again as he moves in on the goalie, puts it in behind him on a nice shot.
Yzerman did all the work there, and that pranged in off the post. 4-3 the score, coming up to the midway point of this third period. What a game. Still far from over. The Canadians circle and bring it back out. It is so nice to see hockey at this level. Penalty on the play. Holding is the call as the Canadian Dineen crashes into the boards and favors that chest of his. He really did hit the woodwork there. The penalty going to the Soviet Union. Let's look at this again.
As you see the play going behind the Soviet net, Dineen is all twisted up on the play by Kasatanov, and he goes into the boards hard.
Nothing subtle about that.
There's a good chance he might have one of those sponsorship imprints on his back or his chest.
Well, he picked something up when he hit those boards, that's for sure. They're padded all over, but it doesn't prevent them from getting hurt. When you hit the boards at that speed, then it really does hurt you. Believe me, I've been there. So has Richard. The Canadians now in a power play situation, working it around Konstantinov, who's played so hard. Biakin now trying to kill off this penalty, working their way out. Messier right in front of the net, couldn't get the puck. Anderson did a lot of the work, but Messier was calling for it as he comes back into the action and steals that one. Yzerman with Messier, Marois on the far side, and the pass didn't come off. They're hitting each other all over the ice as it's dumped down, left for Ellett. The Canadians with the power play work it back in over the blue line, over the red line, still Ellett. Messier takes his position at the point, Ellett dumps it in. A loose puck, no one in front, now Ellett moves into position, Messier on the far post. The Canadians need a goal to tie this. They got to come back into this one. Power play situation, the fake shot, bounces off the pads, is still not loose, another shot, the goalie is down. McLean getting a piece of that, but Herb equal to the shot. Coming up now, playing shorthanded, Khomatov getting a piece of the action, but the Canadians, Patrick brings it back into play. McBain drops it back. A nice deflection there. A difficult one to keep in by Messier. The Canadians have to come out and start again. Patrick pressed against the woodwork. The Canadians now looking for something to happen in front of the net. A lot's happening along the boards, and a lot of that is down to the Soviet side. They're keeping them away from the center of the ice, the slot area in front of the goal, steering them to the outside. A shot this time by Howardchuk, number 10, was right on the target, but Herb came up with a save. Fedosov now comes up with the puck. Fedosov circles, takes his time, overskates it a bit, runs into problems there, tries to be a bit too fancy. Messier getting ready to come back on as Howardchuk, and Carlisle loses that one. Howardchuk skating towards the boards. Will he go off? Fedosov gets it to the far side, and now it's the Soviet side trying to put on the pressure. Kimlev, Fedosov puts it into the slot area. Still, it's not out. Looking to get a shot. Back into the play. The Canadians offside the call.
Well, this play is going back and forth as there's no doubt the Canadians had a good rush on there, but they were just ahead of themselves as Danico made the pass behind Andrew McBain.
Here's the offside. The player, well, one was straddling the line, but there he is, going over ahead of the puck. McBain getting caught. He went over, the puck stayed in the neutral zone. The Canadians coming back hard. Elliott letting fly that shot. Getting physical along the boards. The Canadians desperately trying to get the shot away to get a goal. Herb going down on that one. And we'll have another face-off.
Well, they're doing what they've got to do. Keep pushing that puck toward the net. Try and make something happen.
Still time remaining for both teams. As we look at this again, the Canadians trying everything they can to put on the pressure. Still more action to come. We'll be back in a moment. To the action here in the third period in the Globe Arena. Canada going against the Soviet Union. The Soviets leading 4-3. And if it stays like this near the end of the period, the Canadians will desperately try to get their goaltender off and put on an extra attacker. Working their way in, the Canada side, Makarov, and we have a penalty on the play. Nemchinov, not impressed with that call. He says something to Makarov, but I'm sure he's heard it all before.
Well, that was not a good penalty to take, as the puck was behind the net. The Soviets had control of it, and Nemchinov interfered with the player right in front of the referee. Not a good play.
Well, there's no time. No time is a good time to get a penalty, so let's see what the Canadians can do now. Makarov going in the box. Two Soviets in there, and you can hear the jeers from the crowd as they sort this one out over the PA system. Sergei Makarov picking up 2 minutes, 4-3 the score. The Canadians now with a golden opportunity to come back into this game. Krutov firing it all the way down the ice. And they won't have a better chance, the Canadians that is, than this. Messier getting it up. Anderson in there along behind the boards, getting it back to the point. A shot from close in, bounces off a defender. Elliott picks it up and brings it right back in. Krutov back checking, pokes at that off Elliott's stick, and this really is tense. Yzerman now, number 19. Yzerman, oh, some lovely moves by him as he works it in. Out front, Ferraro back to the point. Marwa, a shot wide of the target. Messier moves in there. Listen to the roar from this crowd. Just incredible stuff. The Soviets with 2 men down, and the Canadians cannot put the puck in the net. Ferraro coming back now, coming back strong with Marois. Bellows with that boomer of a shot. Is poke checked out of the play, and once again, the Soviets dump it out to the blue line. It's still not out though. The Soviets now back at full strength, and that was just incredible. They killed off that power play situation that the Canadians had. And listen to the cheers from the crowd. Herb eventually comes up with it. Brilliant ice hockey if you're a Soviet Union fan.
A 5-on-3 situation, and the Canadians were almost outskated on their own power play as the Russians let them play the puck into the zone but kept them right on the boards the whole time.
The Stockholm wave goes around the building. The spectators here enjoying this. A shot from way back. Oh, right out front is Makarov, and he just couldn't get the shot away. Chiryaev dumps it to the top of the circle. Fedosov is calling for it. Makarov, look how smooth he is as he works it into the corner and then goes back in for the give and go. Makarov dumps it around, and we'll have another penalty on the play. Ellett touches it, cross-checking, and you can see the response from Ellett. What do you mean cross-checking? Marois steps in to cool things down.
Well, you've got a 4-3 game here. They've got a man in the penalty box already, and Dave Ellett might have some good reason to be upset with that call. There you see the replay. Makarov has the puck. There's a lot of action going on in front of the net. As you see Ellett, he's covering his man really tight. Not a good call to make this late in the game with such a close contest.
Howard Chuck talking things over with Ellett. Well, for those of you who speak English, that wasn't very good English. Let's look at this again. There's what he called as a cross-checking infraction. Well, you can see the Canadians are not impressed with what's happening out there on the ice, are they?
No, not by any means, as they're taking their time getting back out into this game. Not very impressed with the referee at all.
The Canadians lost to Sweden yesterday, 6-5. The frustration possibly showing there. Not a brilliant call from the official. That shot going right across the goal. Now Fedosov getting it over. Chiryaev, the Canadians down, off right across the goal mouth again. This happened at the other end just a few moments ago, and again a shot goes wide. The Canadians had a chance at the other end and couldn't put it in. Now the Soviets are having the same difficulty. Players falling all over the ice here. Marois brought heavily to the ice, and Fedorov knows that he did wrong there. He gets up and almost runs over to the penalty box. He says, okay, I admit it. There it is, right there, my lord. Marois took a beating when he hit that ice. His stick flew right out of his hand, once again from behind. So it's all happening here in the third and final period. It really is one heck of a game. Still anyone's game, but the Soviets are leading. Bringing it in. This Group A World Championship game really coming to a boil now. A shot right on the target, steered into the corner, and another whistle. The goal has been dislodged, so they'll take time to straighten that, and we go back to the face-off. So many shots from close in. Oh, and Marois flattens his man right in front of the net. Rather, Babic got a piece of him. Marois. Now the Soviet Union. Babic wearing 24, getting very, very physical indeed. Canadians back out there with Ellett right in front. He's got the puck, takes the shot. Oh, and it was a weak one. He really did fan on that. Kalazov got in front of him, got a piece of that with his knee. And not a break coming for the Canadians. The Soviets with their men in the penalty box getting set to jump back on the ice. They're back at full strength now. End-to-end action. This really is tight. Still anyone's game as they mix it up and they run into each other and get physical. Coming back now, the Canadians with a man right in front. As you can see, their net is wide open. But the whistle blows. 15 seconds remaining now. 4-3 the score. Can the Canadians come back? Can they get a shot on the goal? Can they pull their goalie? So many ifs about this. 8 seconds remaining. 7 seconds and the whistle blows. Fedosov brings it back. Tikhonov there, telling the players just what to do. He's so experienced in this situation. He knows exactly what he wants. I'm sure, Richard, he wants possession.
Well, he certainly does, but he's not unhappy with that play, as it was an icing call, and that's not what the Canadians want. They certainly don't want the face-off back in their zone.
No opportunity to take off the goaltender if the puck is in your zone. He's going to bang it off the boards. You can hear what he's saying. The long break. They're going to run out of time here. 1 second. There goes the buzzer to end the third and final period as they mix it up behind the goal, but nothing serious. The final score, the Soviet Union 4, Canada 3. What a contest. Let's look at the Group A table now. The Soviet Union with 12 points in first place. Sweden in second with 10. Canada back in third with 8. The Czechs in fourth, also with 8 points. The bottom of the table, Finland there in fifth, with Germany in sixth, the USA in seventh, and the Poles look like they could be relegated to the B pool. Coming up on Sunday, the USA against Finland, Poland against West Germany. On Monday, Czechoslovakia against Canada, Sweden against USSR. Until then, bye for now.